Hello, powerful people, and welcome to this week's Beyond Karma program. Thank you all for showing up and tuning in. Hello, Tara by Lupo. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. And I do have, am blessed to have Coco joining me today on the background. So she's going to be popping your questions up so that I'm sure to get to all of them as much as possible. And before we get started here, I'm just going to tune in with a couple of housekeeping tips here. So as a reminder, you can go ahead over onto the Beyond Mystic site to the consultations and book a consultation, an intuitive tarot reading with me. Come spend an hour with me. Let's do a deep dive into your current reality, your questions, and let's get to know each other some more. It is a really beautiful, powerful experience to share together. So there is that. And I also wanted to remind you of, I'm going to find it here. Also wanted to remind you of promotions coming up here. Our Shungite stack sale. Buy 2 Shungite pieces and get 1 free. Man, do I ever feel like we need this more than ever right now. I feel like I could wear 5 of them all at once or something. Like stack sale is a good call on that. I feel like I could really layer up on some good Shungite. So that's an excellent opportunity to do so here. And go ahead onto the Beyond Mystic page to purchase those. As a reminder, please follow, like, share, and subscribe to our Beyond Mystic YouTube and Rumble channels. It is with all of your support that we're able to keep all of this going and create more and more community and create more and more of a foundation where we can come together and share some real deep truths with each other. So as I said, please do be sure, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube and Rumble channels, please do spread the word. And let's get to it today. So thank you for joining me. I do not have actually a good news segment today on this show. I wanted to really tune in with a lot of you, make sure that I get to your questions. And I also wanted to give an opportunity for our community to maybe share some of your wins in this last week, month, year. And I'd love to see maybe what's coming up for you, where you feel like you've had some successes and some real wins coming through. I will start, however, as I always do, with sharing a little bit about karma. I'm going to make my screen a bit bigger here while we're listening. So we're in what's called a karmic release eclipse portal. With the new moon in Virgo and a partial solar eclipse, we are clearing our karmic past right now. Now, these solar eclipse portals that happen allow us, there's 2 of them that happen in a year, and this one particularly in Virgo is all about clearing. So we're being shown what is unresolved or holding us back, letting go of the shadow of Virgo and control. So this is an interesting one, and I wanted to speak to it a little bit because we are, on the platform talking about karma. And I wanted to start off, before I answer questions, by doing a little bit of a card pull on what we need to know as a collective right now to assist us in this powerful time to be able to clear some of this larger karmic justice that's happening and this shadow of control. How can we support ourselves in that, and how can we work on clearing it? So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards on that. And I certainly feel things bubbling up this week and getting closer to the eclipse and to the new moon in Virgo. And new moons are a great time to start new things and to set intentions. And yet, in order to start new things, we also need to clear past, right? We need to create that space, create that container. So this is where I'm thinking, let's have a look. Is there anything that we're holding on to as a collective that we can work together on clearing out? Make sure I'm back at my comments here. I certainly know that things have been bubbling up for me. And sometimes it takes really taking some time to sit with yourself when you are in, oh, I got 111 people watching. Love it. When we are in these places where something doesn't quite feel, where we might feel heavy, or we might feel out of alignment and not quite sure, is this something that is just, is this something that's happening in collective energies? Is this astrological? Is this something that's, drama in my life? Or is this potentially a karmic pattern that's coming up to be cleared? So let's have a look at what we can do here. I'm going to pull 3 cards. Okay, so this is very interesting because right here even we've got this sliver of a moon. So in this sort of 2 weeks that we have, this last 2 weeks, we've really been already starting to feel all of this coming up, all of this sort of feeling like, whoa, I just need to pause for a minute. And many of us may be beginning to feel like there might be choices that we're needing to make, or crossroads that we're at, or like we need to spend some time in contemplation without rushing to try to control a situation. And that's where that letting go of control comes in that I was kind of speaking to. And this can be, one of the shadow aspects of the sign of Virgo and of this Virgo season, is that these sort of particularities might start to come in where our perfectionism is heightened, or our need for safety, or whatever, however control comes in. We're being invited to actually, instead of go forward into that, to pause. And the hangman is, I call him the card of he's percolating. He's going into his spiritual being rather than going into the intellectual being. So putting the mind to rest and resting the body to go into the spiritual body. And we can see that's what we're doing. We can see the outcome of this is that we go, I think, absolutely through a portal, and that we come out of this actually with all of the tools that we need to move forward and to really clear what was coming up. So with that, really taking the space to come into our own magic, our own deep knowing of what is no longer serving us, and letting it go so that we can be as much in that alignment of as this fellow, I always say he's the as above, so below card. And he really finds the balance between the divinity between the two with that infinity sign up there. So as a wrap up on that question there, I feel like for us to come into stillness and contemplation. And I've heard others speak to this as well, about this particular time and this particular powerful portal that we're in. So love it. Let things percolate absolutely all the time. Ah, wonderful. Thank you, everyone. Oh, I need some good news. Yeah. And I would love to see any of you that have good news to share. Great. I'll be here, Crystal. Breath of fresh air. Aw, thank you so much, Andrea. And all of you are like honey to my heart every time that I get to come on. So I really love that we're in co-appreciation with each other. Now, Coco is joining me, and I wonder if you might please bring up the first question that we had up there. Thank you so much. And I'm going to get right into this. Lupo, please give a read on Mark Atwood's event in Ireland next Saturday where Janine will be appearing. Oh, me and my wife are lucky enough to be going over there this week. Blessings on your journey. I'm so glad. Thank you for being boots on the ground with such a powerful event. Mark Atwood and Janine, I mean, woof, and everybody else that's joining. I'm so grateful that you and your wife get to be there. Thank you for showing up for our community. Appreciate that. Let's have a look at this event and what you can expect. I am excited for you. Okay. I normally would pull just 3 cards, but I was told that I needed to pull this one. So we're going to go for it. Here. Make sure that y'all can see. I'm going to do it the way that I normally do it. Well, that looks excellent. Excellent. I mean, big healing. Wow. I feel like everyone that is there, this is going to have so much to do with, I think there's going to be a lot of focus on building new financial systems. Whoa, it's like where the frequency of wealth and the spirituality, especially in a place like Ireland, where they have been through so much in the arena of their abundance and their wealth, and have gone through so much struggle, that there is a whole new healing that is taking place now in the past year. So they've undergone, the Temperance card is about going through big experiences that can actually be pretty challenging to lead to great healing. So something is coming in there where there is going to be so much of a feeling of sharing and generosity and people working together to, I feel like, bring forth this new spiritual path in regards to wealth, security, coming back to the land, especially like working with this Queen of Pentacles, coming back to the land and really working at coming back to all that the land has to offer and all of the ways with which you can reinvest in your communities and back into the land so that the land continues to feed you. So that's going to be really interesting to see. I feel like a lot of people will feel kind of tired. Like some people may feel a little burnt out, and like they're kind of almost on the edge of being like, oh, I don't know if I should go. This could be, a big event, and I'm not sure if that is, they might be a little hesitant, or you and your wife might even feel a little under the weather. But actually, it's I feel probably more like ascension symptoms than anything. So just know that that this is any feelings of sort of like weightedness or tiredness about it is actually just your body preparing itself. So rest leading up to it as much as possible, and prepare your vessel for a really beautiful experience. This looks wonderful. I'm so glad that you and your wife are able to attend, and we look so forward to hearing all about it. Thank you for that question. Yeah, and love the, oh, where did that go? I had it. Love the temperance card. Yes, beautiful. I also love the temperance card, and I will absolutely take the next question when Coco is ready to lay it on me. One of the things that Mom always shared with me about temperance when I was learning was that it's like you can look at it like tampered steel, and that it's like it's such a strong element. And I also look at it like the alchemy card, alchemizing into this like really strong element, which is like one of the strongest metals is tampered steel. But it takes all of this like beating and sharpening and sharpening and sharpening to get to that real true strength and ultimately the healing, right? So I also love the temperance card. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Hey, Crystal. My daughter and I do not get along at all. I'm so sorry to hear that, goodness girl. Is this past life crap, or does it have to do with what happened to her when she was young in this life? It is so not good. Oh, yeah, I feel that. And let me have a look here. What does this have to do with? I'm going to do a focus answer spread like I just did on that last question there. And I feel like in that we may be able to see whether this is past life stuff, or do I pull two piles? Let me think on that. Is this past life? Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. So tuning into Guinness Girl and her daughter here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So right off the bat here, I'd say that this does, she or both of you may be carrying some, I mean, we've got the karmic card here. So I'd say, yeah, that does have to do with karmic justice in this. Okay. Thank you, Crystal. It's literally, I'm going to speak to this right here. It's literally the only stress in my life other than money. So it's actually the stress about money that causes the disruption. And the current stress about money that you've had in this lifetime is actually a thread that's come in from past life realities where your ancestry has struggled with scarcity, with lack of security. Maybe they have had really been put through some big stuff to do with money, and perhaps even you and your daughter have had some past life realities together where you really struggled financially, and that is still an underlying thread that's come in. Now, it has caused some friction in the past. I can see that there's been some battles together on whether this is about finances or not, but the underlying tone of that is due to this lack of security, which it then leads us into our own states of fear and our own states of trigger, right? So the invitation here in the present is to actually focus on building some really healthy relationships with wealth, with money, and you're going to be doing it differently than anyone in your family has done it before. I would say it's probably going to be you that's going to be leading by example in this one, because uh, uh even though money is not what we fight about, she's grown it out on her own for sure. And yet there is something about the the underground, deeper embedded lack of security that comes from trauma patterns that might show up in different ways that have nothing to do with money, right? So, what I see is that there's going to be, the more that you focus on your, I would say, like wellness, daily rituals, habits, routines, particularly, especially about money. Um, I would say that you are actually both going to learn how to master your connections with wealth and connections with money, and ultimately your connection with each other in this life. You're upgrading your ways of communicating from this Knight of Swords to the King of Swords. So you definitely both have something to learn from each other in this lifetime. And I feel like actually you will be cutting through a lot of this karmic justice, and you're coming actually into mastering of each of you, of your own beliefs and of your own styles of communication. So what I would encourage you to check out is something like just diving into a little bit of something like nonviolent communication, and just ways where we get a little bit more curious, not so much about the narrative, but curious about the feelings that are behind the narrative that are being spoken. That's what I would say about this. And her going off and having her own time, and both of you having your own journey through this karmic experience, is a part of what's supposed to be happening for you. And what you can expect in the future. Yeah, I would say that in the future of this, mm, some really beautiful healing. I feel like once we're all moving out of this real patriarchal, overarching control paradigm that we've been in, and we're all moving through it in our relationships with ourselves and with each other so much. So I feel like there's going to be new ways that you're going to be communicating with each other, and it's a much higher frequency for both of you to be speaking with each other. It's coming. I see it coming, and I would check out nonviolent communication. And I would say, if you start leading by example and speaking that way and working with money slightly differently, this is all coming up right now, so that things can be worked on, and so that this karmic loop for the two of you can be cleared. Okay, perfect. I'm struggling to find my tribe, both female friends and a life partner. Sorry to hear that. I don't participate in the religious practices in my community, which contributes to feeling so alone, and I'd love help and advice. Yeah, the isolation at these times is so prevalent, isn't it? And unfortunately, the division that comes from all of these different beliefs is really leading us into more and more of that isolation. So let's have a look for you at how can you find your tribe and your more community and love connection. Thank you so much. I took your advice on why I kept dreaming about my ex and haven't had one dream since. Oh, Guinness girl, right on. Well done. Took your advice on why I kept dreaming about my ex and I haven't had one dream since. You're the best. That's all you, girl. Well done. I'm happy to hear it. Okay. Celebrating you. That's a win. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so I'm going to look at the past here. Present, future, shine bright. Okay. So I actually feel like what you've done is perhaps even planted more seeds in your community of connection than you know or than you think. So there's just a point right now where you're really discovering and contemplating, I'd say, contemplating where you want to share your heart. Like, this isn't just about, we used to think about friends as kind of like, I mean, the value of connection has always been beautiful, but it's kind of like an exchange of currency almost sometimes, right? And now we're actually in an exchange of emotions even more than ever, right? Our emotions are really stirred up. So you're kind of at this point of really reevaluating, what do my friends even look like? What do I want these connections to feel like? And what I'm seeing here is that you're actually carefully cultivating and calling in your star tribe. These aren't just any people, right? This is absolutely people that are connecting to you on a much greater level than sort of the 3D reality that you may have been manifesting people on in the past. So that's not feeling super fulfilling for you anymore, right? And so it's like now you're looking for something greater. So let's see how to support you in that. Well, you're moving in the right direction. The shadow that's coming up around this is completely understandable. Oh, look at this. The 3 of Cups. So this is exactly it. Okay, so it's like you're seeing the 3 of Cups here and you're going, is that it though? Like, I don't know if that's it. And do I need to wait for more? And you're really taking the time to see if this resonates with you. And this is bringing up some old stuff. It's causing you to sort of look at what this brings up, and maybe even having to have taken some time to sit in in the shadow of what's coming up for you around it, to sit in some of your sadness. However, what is coming from this, and I'd say even within the next few months, is real celebration, like real true connection here. And you already actually, I feel like, have the access to these beings. So I don't know if it means that you're going to find, it feels kind of like you're finding some common ground with people around things that sort of light you up, make you happy. So even things like, let's get together. I see almost something like getting together and hosting like a fall feast, and just like, it doesn't have to be big, but maybe you like invite a few people over for dinner, and or you invite some people over to have a fire. I don't know what your home is like for hosting, but I really feel like you're coming into some periods of time of having maybe not a ton of friends, but a few really close connections. And, to be honest, I don't see love here quite yet. And yet I suspect that once you have gathered some more of this type of energy in your life, it's going to open your heart up in the way that is going to magnetize connection to you. So I feel like this is just a bit of a shadow time that you're in right now. Give it another 6 weeks because you really are moving in the right direction. And within a few months, I feel like you're going to find some connections that are actually really serving you and fill your cup up, right? This is cup filling your cup up type of experience, the celebratory card. So I wish you all the best in that, and please tune back in at any point and let me know how that's going. And if you have more questions about that on another week, then come on back in and I'd love to continue to connect on that. So wishing you all the best. Wonderful. Okay, how are we doing? 2:32. Lay the next question on me. Will my son be able to purchase his first home before his wife moves here to Canada in January from Finland? Right on. Okay. Or will they be living with us for a bit while they continue the search? Hi, Vicki. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for your question. That is really exciting that your son and his wife are moving to be closer. I love that. Welcome to them. And let's have a look at. I'm going to actually do 2 piles on this. Sorry to hear about that, Earth Dragon. Good luck with that spasm. I hope you are able to shake it loose there. Sending you love. Okay, let's have a look at this. So this is coming and being able to purchase a house and coming and staying with you. Aw. So the man that is your son really wants to be able to come and to really like feel accomplished in getting a house and having the resources to sort of build, provide the foundation for them to arrive. And yet there is going to probably be, I'd say 5 to 6 weeks of like transitional period when they come, and it might feel a little chaotic for them to sort of land and have to move right into a new place. And I actually see that it would feel really good for them to come and spend even like 5 or 6 weeks with you in your home. I actually feel like both your son and daughter-in-law will really enjoy being in your loving mother energy, will really enjoy just being cared for a little bit upon arrival and connecting with you, connecting in with like you sharing your home in some way as a way for them to land from that journey. I feel like is going to feel the more supportive than coming and needing to set up what they're going to be living in right off the bat. So that is what I would say about that. So it does look like probably about 5 to 6 weeks that coming and staying with you will be the most ideal for them. Perfect. Okay, now I see here that Tracy says her question got skipped over. Our apologies, Tracy, if we have missed your question. If for some reason it got skipped, please go ahead and feel free to post it back up there again. Sometimes things move. Oh, here we go. Tracy's questions. Coco's like, don't worry, I got you, girl. Okay. Oh, Vicky says, thank you. That sounds perfect. Beautiful. So happy to hear it. And enjoy being mama. That's so lovely to hear. Should my family host a gathering of people involved with history of the Revolutionary War during the winter solstice? Great question. Great question, Tracy. Thank you for pointing out that we missed you there. Okay. Host a family gathering. involved with history of the Revolutionary War during winter solstice. I mean, sounds good to me. Oh, thanks, Ricky. Oh, yeah. You just go ahead and do it. Looks fantastic. I'd say really, like, I see really getting into character with it. I feel like actually really bringing this up and hosting this event is actually going to move some, it's kind of going to move some energy for a lot of what happened in history. It's kind of like you and your family bringing it forward and hosting this event is actually on some timeline somewhere is actually rewriting the history a bit. So, and that it has a very positive high frequency effect on not just all of you, but I feel like even bigger than that. So that looks fantastic to me. Yeah, absolutely. You may find that it even because it might be, it's a pretty powerful, pretty powerful gateway that you're opening at that time of year, and it's actually going to be doing some potentially even deeper work. As I was seeing, you may find that you're feeling a little bit tired after it, a little bit just burnt out for maybe like 4 days after the event. Not to worry. Again, those are usually just like the ascension symptoms where the body just needs a little bit of time to catch up after, because it looks like you're really going to be creating and moving some beautiful energy during that event. So have at it. I think that sounds fantastic. I kind of wish that I could join you. It sounds like fun. Getting into character. Okay. Now, I am going to pause. And again, as Ricky just stated, I am going to remind you to that I have, you can book a consultation with me on the Beyond Mystic consultations page if you're wanting to do any deeper diving with me. And please teach a tarot card. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I'll get right on that. Someday, absolutely. I would love to. And Crystal's readings are wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. I truly appreciate that. And again, it just blows my mind every time that I get to show up and pull cards for people and utilize these tools in this way that I've been idolizing Mom and Janine doing for so long. And the fact that someone just told me to teach a tarot class is just like, thank you. That's really, really lovely to hear. Okay, let's move on to the next question. This is so lovely. I'm like, feel like I'm on the hot seat and getting to answer all these fantastic questions from people. Any messages from my guides that I need to hear today? Thank you. Let's have a look, see. And you know what? Thank you so much for asking this question, because I'm going to do something a little different here, and I'm going to also pull an oracle card for you, and I'm going to tie it into a bit of the collective and what the collective needs to hear from your guides as well. So, because we are all here together and our guides are speaking all the time, but I had this feeling, I'm like, Crystal, you need to pull an oracle card for everyone today as well. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to first pull on what your guides are saying. Another one. Whoa. 2 4s and a 7. This is like right up the line of that one of those last spreads that I had. Okay, so interesting. Hi. Interesting. So the guides are saying to you, that you may be feeling the call to really invest in, you may be feeling the call to really invest in solidifying the foundation of who you are right now, who you came here to be. And like, I'd say, like, really sort of digging into your home space. These two, so fours are foundational cards, right? And there's something about where you're kind of looking at all of the ways with which you've invested in yourself in your life. And you're kind of looking over, okay, like I've planted all these seeds over here, and now what do I do with it? And it's kind of like you're really being encouraged to invest in the value of you. And I'm going to pull this card while I'm talking about it. And so also, so everyone can hear that this is support for themselves as well. So what does foundation even mean for you? And what does your life feel balanced and solid right now? Or are you feeling like, oh, there's always these feelings of feeling just slightly disappointed in yourself or in the situation at hand, feeling like you're always feeling sort of like you have just enough to get by, or only like one leg to stand on. But I do feel like Spirit is saying, yeah, that's what Spirit is saying. Spirit is saying that these battles, these areas of chaos that shake your stability, that shake your foundation, they are actually leading you into your highest potential. And this is spiritual potential. This is not the path that you've previously taken that is like safe. It is actually the path less traveled for you thus far, and it's very light centered, and it's a very spiritual path at this point. And oh yeah, okay, here it is. Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Well, interesting. I'm going to pull that up really quickly. And let's see what it has to say. The message here is take your time and focus on developing your gifts and your strengths. So that is very much these two foundational cards. They do. They're taking the time, right? So take the time and focus on your strengths. You may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you are in a space of transformation. You're moving beyond your past challenges and honoring your current strengths. And there are opportunities for you to discover. When this card arrives, there's also an opportunity for you to tap into the power of your spirit animal. And note if you are seeing a particular animal regularly, because its medicine is coming to you. So you're shape-shifting right now. And all of these, anything that comes up that feels like chaos and sort of like, oh my gosh, I keep like having my foundation rocked and things keep changing. It's because you're shifting into your greatest potential. Whew. There you have it. Love it. Well done. Well done. Okay, perfect. I hope that answers your question. And I hope that we can all learn something from that as well. All right, lay the next one on me, please. I've spent 8 years rescuing cats. I feel guided to change things and start a spaying unit program. I'm hesitant due to potential hard times ahead. Should I just push forward anyways? This reminds me, thank you, Melissa, for your question. I will definitely answer it. Coco, if you could have a look while I'm answering this one. At the very beginning of all of our questions, somebody asked a question about their cat Midnight, who's been missing for 3 weeks. I don't know if you're able to locate that. Yeah, that one too. So I will answer the first question that I was just about to answer, and then I would like to speak to Midnight. So I don't know if you're able at all to pull that last one up again, but they're talking about working with cats. Okay, let me have a look here. Thank you very much. Spay neuter program. I'm hesitant due to potential hard times ahead. Oh, wow. Oh, bless you for being willing to go ahead and try to make this program work. Do we ever need that? You know, and it's wild. One of my best friends, my beloved friends, her cat, female cat, oh man, she had like 4 litters in a row because it was just like that. Like every time it was like she just had kittens, and then oh my gosh, another set would come, and it was just crazy. She was like would make an appointment, and this darn sweet kitty would get out and start roaming the neighborhood again. And some of them like just are little escape artists and are impossible to keep in. Holy moly. She's happily spayed now, and was a beautiful mama to her kitties. Oh, I think it just looks so good. So you're worried about the hard times? You know, and this is kind of saying that you may have felt, for one, this is, I can see a topic that is like, it really hits home. It really hits you in the heart space, these animals. And you have 2 aces here. So I really feel like you got a big yes in terms of like, don't let your heart necessarily get in the way here. You may even be going through like your own emotional stuff in regards to these tough times right now. However, this is going to be, I feel like, super healing for you. And ultimately, I mean, this is the magnet queen. I feel like actually this is going to be well resourced. I feel like even in your community, you're going to be able to gather community like donations towards this type of a program, and that you're going to actually be cleaning up a lot of what you're going to be working with, what a lot of people actually struggle with and wishing there was a program for. So 2 aces here. I feel like by the end of this year, starting next year, you're going to be off to the races. And I get a big yes around starting this program. So good for you. Well done. And I feel like you're just going to shine in it. And the community is really going to appreciate you for it. And I don't think you're going to have to worry about funding of it at all. You're going to find the investors and the donations that you need to make it happen. So prayers to you on that journey, and good luck with that. All right, let's have a look at Midnight. Oh, I pray Midnight is just on a wander. Okay, he's a boy. Now, I wonder about this because I have had multiple male cats that every once in a while will go on wanders for long periods of time. And bless them, they actually come home just when you've, like, some of them have been like for over a month at a time. So I'm hoping that this is what's going on with Midnight. And sometimes in change of seasons too, at the end of summer, they can feel like they need one more big prowl. So let's ask about that. And we're going to hope that that's what's going on there. Okie dokie. So interesting. I wonder if there's the possibility that that Midnight was picked up by some kids or something, and potentially like brought into a family thinking that maybe they might have found a stray cat. So I However, I feel like ultimately, mm, it could even be like another 6 to 9 days that midnight might be gone. Hopefully, ultimately, he comes back to you. It feels like there's the opportunity here for you to put the call out even further, and really even put at, like, I don't know what you've done to go looking for him. I'm sure you've done so much, but there may even be someone locally or kids somewhere along the line that have seen him or something like that, because this is a very youthful energy. And aw. Yeah, I mean, I feel like trying to get you'll want to definitely work at trying to get him back home before it gets too cold, and like before the snow flies kind of thing. So, because potentially, I don't think actually that I don't feel like that something could actually happen to him. I feel like it could be more than you might be feeling like uh he's really lost to you once the cold comes, and that may weigh really heavy on you. So I would say that just extend the call out a little further if you can. And really, actually, in that, I'd say also really with your intention, just keep talking to him. Just keep telling him, come back home. You're welcome here. You're wanted here. I love you. You know the way. And we pray that he is able to find his way home before that snow flies, because I feel like once that snow goes, or once the cooler temperatures come, it could really weigh heavy on your mind that the kitty has not returned. So we pray that midnight will come home to you. Okay, how are we doing? Let's wrap everything up here. I'm going to take, okay, let me see. Do I have time for one more question? You know what? I think I'm going to pause there for the week. We've gotten lots of good questions in today. Thank you so much, everyone, for showing up and bringing, and sharing your vulnerabilities with us all, because we're all learning together, as I've shared. And as I've said too, it really lifts my heart up to be able to be here and answer your questions and be of service in this way. So as a final reminder, please be sure to tune in and check out, subscribe to the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel, as well as, oh, am I sharing this at all? Yep, good. As well as the Beyond Mystic Rumble channel. And a reminder to check this out. We have quite a spacious schedule coming up this week, with Janine being on holidays and JC taking a break. You're so welcome, Tracy. Blessings to you, love. Thank you for being here. So, love right back to you, Lupo. Thank you. So coming up, we still have Coco's hanging in with us on Friday for the Coco Show at 1 p.m. And Saturday, tune in with the Big Mama Shella on the Psychic Tarot Show from 4 until 5. So we're still hanging out with you here. And we're certainly glad that you're hanging out with us. That's for sure. And until next week, I look so forward to tuning in with you again, to answering your questions, and have a beautiful week. And may we all dance in releasing some of this control during this karmic new moon and eclipse portal. Blessings to you all. Ciao for now.